Hey guys, it's Gus. And over a month ago, the developers gave us a heads up. They let us know they're going to be looking at the Mirage weapons and the Slab of Vecna mount power for adjustments. And to me, adjustments implies nerfs because I'm not thinking they're looking at making these any stronger than they are now. So if they're going to nerf these weapons, what are they going to do? Well, the answer is very, very simple. I'm going to go back to the exact same weapons that I used for over 1,000 ancient dragon hunts. I hosted 36 ancient dragons every Monday for 5.5 months trying to get those collections. And every single run I did, I asked for the same exact thing. They're going to be the exact same weapons I use for hundreds of Master Temple of the Spider completions. The same weapons I use for hundreds of Master Demogorgon completions. The same weapons I use for hundreds of Master Zemnid completions. It's a very easy answer. They're the same weapons we used when we learned and started farming Master Moon Dancer. They're going to be the exact same weapons I use for Master Tiamat. They're going to be the same weapons I used when I learned and started farming Master Demon Web Pits. And that's not the Mirage weapons. That's the MC weapons. There's not enough good things to say. Well, there's plenty of good things to say about these weapons. I can't put them all into words. These weapons are amazing. Let me start telling you why. They may not be the absolute most powerful weapon in the game, but they're the best weapons in the game. First of all, they're extremely dirt cheap, which means anybody can use them. Go to equipment, type in mastered, and the first weapons that pop up are the Cholton Master weapons, and they start at 100K each. Yeah, that's how much rough AD a player on the very first day of playing Neverwinter makes. 200K rough AD for a set of best in slot weapons is too good of a deal, which means it's very inclusive and anybody can get them. You can also get the Feywood weapons. These are the ones I use just because they're higher item level, but they're a little bit more spendy. They're half a mil. They start out at half a mil. And then there's the Durger weapons. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. And these are the latest ones from North Dark. I don't have these, and I don't use them if I did have them. I don't really care for them, even though they are higher item level. They don't have the 10% main Atwell modification on the main hand, and they don't have the 2,500 ratings, and they don't have the 2.5% AP gain, which are all very useful for my build. So I prefer the Feywood, but or you can get them absolutely free. The downside is you got to be in a guild that does a lot of ancient, or not ancient dragons, dragon flights, and you got to do a bunch of them, but they're free. But I mean, 200K AD for best in slot weapons is just so damn good. There's a reason I use these. And when I remember the first few weeks in my alliance, people were getting all pissy about it. I would host 12 ancient dragons. I'd say hosting 12 time ancients need 2D, 1T, 1H, must have debuff artifact and MC weapons. And people are like, I don't need MC weapons. Well, if you saw the teams I was hosting, because it's hard to find people willing to do 12 straight runs, I was taking anybody. And what these weapons allowed me to do was take really bad, inexperienced players through very quickly because I didn't have time to do these super slow 7 or 8 minute runs. I was doing 3 and 4 minute runs because I was trying to do it 36 times to be done on Monday. And these weapons allowed that. And it allowed me to be super inclusive. I could take any tank or any healer and any DPS. And when the majority of tanks I got from PE would lose aggro on the ancient, and I got it, these weapons helped keep me alive when I was getting hit like crazy. I love these weapons, and they're amazing. We used these for the Master Moon Dancer when it came out. I had a perfect weapon build and the MC weapons, and we went with the MC weapons, and it made for a really smooth run. Because these weapons give you 10% outgoing damage when everybody in the group has them. 10% is really good. Lionheart's only 7.5%. So you're getting, very, very close to the best and most powerful weapons in the game from these. But they have two other huge benefits. Well, three. They buff your companions. Your companions get 10% more damage, but that's very small and menial. But they give the everybody 10% damage mitigation. So when you're running new content and you're getting hit by mechanics that you haven't learned how to avoid yet, you're more likely to stay alive because of these weapons. Especially the tank who's learning when to use their stamina and block, or when they're learning how to just take it to the face, right? They don't know. They have to learn that stuff. So if the tank dies, the group has to wipe. And these weapons help keep the tanks alive. And you know those great blue shields we're getting from the Warlock and the Paladin, or the heal over time we're getting from Healing Word from the Cleric? They're even better because of the 10% outgoing healing these weapons are giving. So A, they're dirt cheap. Two, they're the overall all around best weapons in the game for all new content. And C, they're super inclusive. Anybody can get these, right? If I go to PE chat right now and say hosting Master Demon Web pits need 2D, 1T, 1H, must have perfect weapons. Well, I just excluded a shitload of players who could join me and get through that content, you know. Um, which I do know players do that, and I'm okay with that. But me personally, I try to take anybody I can through because I don't like spending forever hosting, so I make it as fast as possible. I've never ever one single time in my nearly 10-year history of Neverwinter have never seen a hoster kick somebody for using MC weapons. Never once. They're that good of a weapon. Every hoster loves it when their players are using it. Now, what you'll see commonly um, is when the groups have mastered the content, the tank and healer will be using these, and the DPS will be using more powerful weapons for a greater burn. But that's usually in preformed teams. If you're going with 5 people you don't know, MC weapons all day long, because these weapons allow you to pull more than your weight if you're helping people who can't pull their own weight. They're cheap, they're inclusive, and they're all around the best weapons in the game. I don't care if they nerf the Mirage weapons. When they nerf those, if they nerf them, but they will, it won't affect me at all. I'll lose a couple seconds on my runs, right? Because that's all they do is help the burn a little bit. What does concern me about them nerfing these weapons is I believe there's a lot of teams and a lot of players out there who are barely getting through content's the DPS checks. And if they lose that damage they're getting from the Mirage weapons, they're more likely to probably be failing because of that. And I know there's a train of thought out there. People are like, good, then they don't deserve to be in that content. Well, I disagree with that. You know, I'm in a very large, healthy alliance. And the more people we have that are completing content, what I'm seeing is the more happier people we have that are coming back to the game and playing the game. I don't know if this game can afford to purposely be pushing people away. I don't know if the population is healthy enough for that. I don't see what the point of nerfing these weapons are. I know some people say because it makes all the new weapons obsolete. I agree. I don't think I've ever once used the perfect weapons. Ever. And I did have used the Weaver weapons for a little bit. Once we figured out the Mirage were doing so much better in Zemnid that we went to those. I've never used Stormforge weapons ever. I literally deleted them in the video I got them. I got them for collections and deleted them. I do know the Stormforge are better than MC weapons if you're on a preformed team, but usually I was on teams where I was taking people from zone chat that I didn't know. And when you go MC, you can't go wrong. Your likelihood of a complete is much higher because of that. We'll be okay, Neverwinter. We'll be just fine when they nerf the Mirages. Stay classy. Can't wait to hear your comments.